Good morning, dear students. I am your biology teacher, Mrs. Jyoti Bharatya. Let's begin today's session. We are studying first chapter of biology, reproduction in lower and higher plants, in which we are studying sexual reproduction in plant. In plant, the reproductive part is flower, and you all know very well in a flower there are different main parts: corolla, calyx, androecium and gynoecium. Here you can see that there is a typical structure of a flower. This is the female part of the flower, and here I had zoomed it here, and you can see that in a female part, which is gynoecium part of the flower, there are three sections: stigma, style and ovary. In the ovary there are ovules are present. In some ovary, it may contain only one ovule. If a single ovule is present inside the ovary, then we call it as uniovulate ovary. Example, you can see in the flower of wheat, mango. And if more than one ovules are present inside the ovary, we call it as multi-ovulate ovary. Means more than one ovules are present. Example, brinjal, tomato. You can see in the flower of these vegetables. Now let's discuss detailed structure of ovule. Here you can see that written is structure of anatropous ovule. Anatropous. There are different varieties of ovules are present in different flowers. 6 types of ovules are there, but in your portion they have to study only anatropous type. And why this anatropous only? Because in the majority of flower, anatropous type of ovules are found. Anatropous type of ovules means when ovule, structure of ovule is like this. As you can see, like this. This shape is called as anatropous type of ovule. Let's explore the world of this anatropous ovule. In our portion, in our syllabus, this topic is very important. We need to study the structure of anatropous ovule, and you have to practice all the labels very well. Let's begin. All the ovules are present inside the ovary and they are attached with the placenta. This is placenta. And with placenta they are attached with the help of the stalk called funicle. This is funicle. And when we move forward, you can see that this is a tilted shape, or we can say that its face is directed towards downward. That's why this is called anatropous. This section is called as micropyle. Micropyle. This is the opening of an ovule through which pollen grain enters into the ovule. So this is micropyle, and the base of the ovule is called as chalaza. So we can say that in an ovule there are two parts. One is micropylar end, another one is chalazal end. Means chalaza side is chalazal end, and the portion which is present towards the micropyle, that is micropylar end. Here you can see that this is a round centrally located structure. This is called as nucellus. I had already written there. This is nucellus. Inside the nucellus, embryo sac is present, and you can see this outside the nucellus there are two layers which are present, or we can say that two coverings. These are called as integuments. The integument which is present towards the outside is called as outer integument, and which is next to the outer integument is called as inner integument. So there are two layers of integument, outer integument and inner integument. Then nucleus is present. Inside the nucleus there is one oval shaped structure. You can see that in this diagram. This is embryo sac. This is the main female gametophyte of the flower. Here we have all the cells required for the sexual reproduction in plant. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This embryo sac is 7-cell structure. And if I count the dots which I have drawn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 nucleated structure. Means embryo sac in an angiosperm is always 7-cell structure and 8 nucleated structure. And in the embryo sac of angiosperm, their arrangement is also fixed. They have definite type of arrangement. Let's see this arrangement. In the above you can see that 3 cells are drawn here. These are called as antipodal cells. Antipodal cells, they are always counting 3, haploid in nature. The main function is to give the nutrition, nourishment to this whole embryo sac. Means for the further development, for the function, they need energy, they need nutrition. All the nutrition will be provided by this antipodal cells. Below antipodal cells, we can see that there is a one circle with 2 dots, means single cell with 2 nucleus. These are called as secondary nucleus, to which second male gamete fuse and forms endosperm. This is diploid in nature, having 2 sets of chromosomes. Now, next below to this secondary nucleus, we can see that one is enlarged cell. This is egg cell, which fuse with the male gamete and form the zygote. And around this egg cell, we can see that another more 2 cells are present, which are synergid cell. Synergid cell, they have hair-like projections, which we call it as filiform apparatus. The main function of filiform apparatus is guide the pollen tube. Means they provide the direction to the pollen tube. Oh, pollen tube, enter from this side. They secrete some chemical substance. With the help of that substance, pollen tube enters through this micropyle and then releases into the embryo sac. So this is the structure of embryo sac. 3 antipodal cell, 1 secondary nucleus, 1 egg cell and 2 synergid cell. The synergid cell, why they need synergid cell? To protect the egg cell. So, and to provide the path or direction to the pollen tube, through which male gametes enters into the embryo sac and double fertilization occurs. In the next session, I will explain how this double fertilization occurs. So basically what we had learned today, the structure of anatropous ovule, in which we had seen that there is one opening which is called as micropyle, and opposite to the micropyle, that is chalaza. So micropylar and chalaza, and 2 integuments are present, outer and inner. Inside the integument, nucleus is present, and inside the nucleus, embryo sac is present, in which 8 nucleated structure and 7 cell structure is, and 3 antipodal cell, 1 secondary nucleus, 1 egg cell and 2 synergid cell. That's all today's session. I hope you understood what I had taught today. Okay, thank you.